Welcome to Art Made Easy, where we showcase the best art products and tools with the lowest amount of hassle to work with. Today we're featuring Rena-Stone, the natural stone casting compound, because it's incredibly easy to work with, virtually hassle-free, and artists tend to love Rena-Stone because it's so realistic. I mean, the granite casting comes from real granite, the marble casting comes from real marble. And actually the name Rena-Stone comes from Renaissance. It's the Renaissance of the stone. So we asked our top artists to play with Rena-Stone, and today we're gonna see what happened. I'm here with Tom Durham, who is one of our amazing artists who's going to be using Rena-Stone. So Tom, tell us about your work. What kind of art do you do?
Well, I'm a figurative sculptor. I do a lot of pieces with drawing and sculpture that are very Renaissance-like, with a little surreal twist here and there. You know, just think of Goya with a pointed expression of today, you know, only in sculpture. I'm part of the National Sculpture Society here in New York. You know, shown pretty much throughout Italy, Spain, United States. The last couple of years I've been experimenting with a lot of different materials because the price of making sculpture is so high today. It's like, what can you find to work with that's just as good as anything else, which brought me here with to try out Rena-Stone.
So tell us about Rena-Stone. What do you know about it?
Well, I just met the person who invented the product, and he was telling me about it, and I read the directions. And it's basically it's a casting type of stone that has natural stone in it, like a Carrara marble or granite, you know, and it has a colloidal system that you mix with it. It's fairly simple directions is what I've noticed on it. You can mix it up on a tabletop. You don't have to have special equipment for it, or you don't have to bake it at this point. So it's just mixing it, pouring it, and into a mold, and you take it from there. Yeah. Right. And what's nice about it, it's non-toxic. It doesn't have the smell that resins have. You know, where you just you know, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And so it really has that feel and look of actual marble and stone, which appeals to me, you know, these days. And the fact that I don't have to have special equipment for it, I went, yeah, I think I can like this stuff, yeah.
And looking at the directions, how did it seem to compare with the other kinds of castings that you've done?
Easy.
Yeah?
Yeah, very easy, quite honestly. Because I like things that have a natural feel to it. It doesn't have that plastic look or plastic feel, where the resins, no matter what you do with it, it always looks plastic. You know, it just doesn't quite look real, it looks fake. But the fact that it's much more durable, it's a harder tensile strength, makes it a little bit more appealing to me at this point. Yeah.
Wow. So with the marble castings, apparently you don't even have to heat those in an oven or anything. Are there any other products out there that you know of that you don't have to heat them in ovens at all?
The resins you don't, but it's so toxic you don't want to use it in your house. Okay, you want to use it in a very open space. Plasters, again, it just creates dust filters everywhere. You know, so you open a bag of plaster, you're going to be sweeping up about 5 yards around you, for that matter. With this stuff, opening up nothing. It's just, you know, just sits where it's supposed to sit and mix it. So it's clean, easy. I think it's just a new product that I'm just looking forward to trying.
All right, well, I look forward to seeing the results. We're going to go to Tom's studio right now, and we're going to test out Rena-Stone, so let's go. So Tom, what do we got here?
Well, we're in the studio, and what we're going to do is demonstrate a product called Rena-Stone. Rena-Stone is a new product for me. It looks great. It's supposed to make everything look like it's stone, and you can see from samples here that it looks pretty good. It looks pretty real. I mean, that looks like stone. I've done stone carving before, so I'm pretty satisfied with the look I've seen with the samples. And what I'm going to do with this is make it a little bit more rustic to fit more of the character of a particular piece that I have in mind. And like I said, the product seems pretty easy. It's a quick step you could even do on your kitchen table. And so what I've done is estimate, what we're going to do is be using about half this container here, which is the dry mix. Okay, it's the white Carrara marble. We have the small liquid catalyst. And to make it so it's a little bit more liquid to pour into the mold, so it doesn't set up too tight, we have another retarding agent to add to the catalyst. And what we do is we mix the catalyst with the retarding agent first, then we mix this with it, and stir it up and then pour.
So where do we start?
Well, let's start by pouring a little bit of the liquid catalyst into the container here. Open it up. We're going to use about half of this, which will be about 1.5 to 2 pounds altogether when we're mixing it. And I am basically going to eye this, okay? I could.
All right.
That should be about half there. Now, this is the retarding agent we won't be using in future boxes because it's all going to be mixed in with the powder.
Great.
So to make sure I have half of this, I am going to pour all of it in here so I can get a better accurate measurement, and then just eye a little bit here.
That's the way I cook.
Well, it's the way most artists want to cook as well, quite honestly. What I'm doing is just stirring this up so that make sure that all fits together nicely. Now we're going to use about half of the powder here.
All right.
Okay. Let's carefully kind of. Notice I'm using the dry end to.
Now, what is this? This powder exactly is made up of stone and what else?
Well, that's the secret ingredient. It's made up of stone and other things. I'm not quite sure what else is in there, but I know it has Carrara stone mixed in with it, which is a beautiful, powdered marble from Italy, from the northern part of Italy near Pisa.
And this is the result of it. It looks exactly like stone here, very beautiful, but much easier to use, right?
Well, yes, much easier. I mean, stone is a subtractive material, so you're having to cut and carve, and it takes a little bit longer. This is a casting material that creates something that's very, very similar. It could also be used to patch stone carvings as well, with a little bit of color added to it at times. You can, I would say, that should do it, yeah. There we go. And you can see how it's starting to mix very readily here. You can feel it almost like grains of sand on a beach.
Immediately mixes right in. Beautiful.
Mixes right in.
No problem.
You want to make sure you scrape it from the sides, the bottom. Thoroughly mix it.
Yeah.
Get bubbles out of it.
Yeah, so right away, I mean, right off the bat, it looks like it just mixes and blends pretty easily. No problems. You put in the catalyst, you put in the powder, and mix it right up and put it in. And
it really can't get any easier, quite honestly. I mean, this is about as simple as it gets for sculpture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty mess-free too.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So next you're gonna.
Next, I'm just getting ready. I'm just gonna pour it in here. Now, what I have is a little brush here too that I can use to kind of push it into areas, the little crevices and stuff. And so as I'm pouring it in, I'm pushing the material into the area so I don't have air bubbles and air pockets in it.
Okay.
And I would say that was a pretty good estimate as far as the amount that we needed to use here.
Yeah, nice job.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Not too much.
Right.
Okay. I want to give it a little bit less in here. Okay, now I'm going to set this aside. Now what you want to do is basically just kind of give it a little bit of vibration here so that it works all the air bubbles up to the top, which is pretty standard for any kind of plaster or gypsum material that you might cast in as well. Because you can see how the air bubbles are popping up to the top here. It just takes a little bit of vibration. That's it. You want to make sure that it's level. Okay, as you can see, it's already starting to set. 5 minutes later, and it's looking great. It's like I said, tomorrow can't wait to see it and see what I have. See what I have here.
Now I notice I'm not even smelling anything. Is there no smell? Can I take this real quick and check that out? Yeah, I don't smell a thing.
Yeah, see, it's great.
Odorless?
I wish I had this when I was younger. Trust me, I still have a sense of smell when it comes to stuff. But no, it's not. No smell, no toxicity whatsoever. It's unlike using resins and plasters, which are actually much dustier and dirtier. This stuff seems to settle very nicely without that excess mess. And the resins, I mean, you smell it through the house or through the studio for 2 or 3 days afterwards. This is nothing.
Yeah, you talked about how you never used those masks when you were younger and had all kinds of respiratory problems. I mean, now you don't even need a mask or anything.
No,
and no young and rebellious.
I can be young and rebellious again. Thank you.
Oh, right.
I like that.
Beautiful.
But no, this is great. It's the simplicity of these gets better and better.
Now, how long exactly does this take to demold?
Well, for easy molds like this particular piece, you should probably wait about 8 hours for it vitrify and solidify a bit more. For more complex molds, like with the fish here, where it's a two-part piece, you want to wait the full 24 hours before you demold it. Because that way, you know, if you have any special details or stuff like that, the mold is not going to break it off, or it won't be soft in the ears. And this stuff is, like I said, it's pretty durable. I mean, I've seen different samples that are here, and they really look tight and solid for me. Right. And so this is going to take about, like I said, at this point, we can't do any more with it. We're going to let it set.
Now let's talk about that for a second. There's no heating involved, nothing that you have to do. You just kind of let it sit and then take it out?
No heating, no baking, nothing. You just let it sit. You can cover it so that it stays clean and nothing gets into the mold as well. And we'll do that with a little plastic bag of some sort. But basically, we're done. It's really that easy, wow, to do this piece. I mean, no mess, nothing.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I can even do this at my girlfriend's house.
Wonderful.
On her kitchen table without worrying about anything whatsoever.
So tell me about these different colors here. We have the gray granite here, the white marble. What are all these, and what are the differences in making them?
Well, basically what I found out is they have different aggregates which can give it the different colors. But with the white Carrara marble, you can add different powders to it, like iron oxides, different powders of greens and blues.
And what does that do?
It just gives it a tinted color, so so you can have different forms of colors. You know, marble comes in pinks, blues, greens, whites with ribbons of stripes going through it, and you can create that effect with this. Right now, we're just sticking with something very, very plain to start with, but at this point, you can add whatever color you like later on, and it doesn't give you, it depends on how much color you add to it. You don't want to add too much, but at the same time you want it to give that real marble look, which has that effervescent quality to it. The effervescence is what
it is quite effervescent, I
that's
must
what
say.
you get when you polish up marble and look at it nicely. And then after this sets up, we can put a type of texturing sealer on it, where it could either seal it so it's not as porous. When it's porous, you can even stain it a little bit if you like, and the stain will go into the pores of the stone, like real stone. And then you can seal it so that you can't do that anymore, and it keeps its luster and keeps its polish.
So tell us about the gray granite then. What is the difference with that?
Well, this is an older, it's sort of the what I call right now is the old Rinastone, which used to have to be baked, but we no longer have to do that with the white, and you can get the same results with the white. And so this is the newest aspect of it right here that we're working with. But,
well, tell us about this for a minute. Now, what is the difference when you have to bake this? Is that a long process?
No, it's basically anywhere between 160 and 180 degrees in your oven. It takes about 3 hours altogether in most cases. And it works well, but most of us in this fast, immediate world that we live in today, we want to be able to just pour, walk away, pick it up later.
Yeah.
And so, but this works perfectly fine. It looks great. It just you don't have to add anything else to it. That's it. You're done with it with the granite.
Yeah. So pretty much with the white marble, you mix, you pour, you're done. With the gray granite, you mix, you pour, you bake, you're done. So all very easy, very simple. Like I said, we're going to eat some cereal on here right when we're done. So
it's really very simple
here.
And I expected this to be a little bit more complex, but it's not really. It's as simple as it gets.
Yeah.
And I've been doing sculpture for 30 years, and I like the way this stuff feels. It feels like stone. It looks like stone. When I pop this out tomorrow, I'll be able to look at it. I'll be able to antique it a little bit. I'll be able to go into it with some tools and chisel it. Create little fragments. Inside the areas of it as well. And so for me, it's like, okay, here's the first step, second step. The third step is just a little bit of touch up and finish.
And so tomorrow we're going to come back and then we're going to antique it, and I can't wait to find out what antiquing is. So.
Well, I'm not going to do a lot of antiquing, but I'll just look at it, and if somebody wants to know, I'll quick demonstration. My guess is all that could be done in about 5 to 10 minutes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So I guess we're pretty much done here. I guess we're just going to wait. All right. Can't wait to see what comes out.
Now art is made easy with Renastone. Renastone is the natural stone compound that looks and feels like real marble and granite.
I've been doing sculpture for 30 years, and I like the way this stuff feels. It feels like stone. It looks like stone.
Renastone is non-toxic and easy to use. Artists and interior designers all love Renastone because it's timeless and won't deteriorate.
That's the beauty of it. With this material, it actually it's so precise when you put it into the molding. It picks up, and it's you don't have to really go back into it and carve too much into it because it picks up the detail so easily.
Wow.
Renastone is a high-end compound that's affordable and easy to use. Order Renastone today. www.renastone.com.